This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Jay Ogaraj and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The UN extends support to overcome the economic challenges in Sri Lanka. India sends relief essential goods worth 2 billion rupees. The GCE Ordinary Level Examination commences today. 1,500 suspects arrested over May 9th violence in Sri Lanka. World Bank, ADB and AIIB announced joint plan to aid Sri Lanka. PUCSL chairman on power cuts during O-level exam period. SLTB to issue diesel for personal vehicles of O-level exam staff. Police to begin crackdown on people hoarding fuel for resale. News overseas, monkeypox, Israel and Switzerland confirm cases. In sports, tennis, French opener Ons Jabeur beaten in first round by Magda Linette. Local news in detail. The GCE Ordinary Level exam commences today. All necessary arrangements are made to conduct the exam peacefully, the Examination Commissioner, LMD Dharmasena said. Necessary facilities are provided to duty officers and examination invigilators to attend the relevant examination centre to perform their duties. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka states that there will be no power cuts during the exam times of the 2021 GCE Ordinary Level Examination, which is scheduled to be held from the 23rd, which is today, to the 1st of June. Addressing a special media briefing held this afternoon, its chairman Janaka Ratnayake stated that there will also be no power cuts after 6:30 p.m. on examination days. Meanwhile, the PUCSL chairman stated that there will be no power cuts today and on the 29th of May. He also said that the Water Management Secretariat had provided the water required to generate electricity during that period. Meanwhile, the Norachole power plant has been reconnected to the national grid today, he said. Accordingly, the 260 megawatts received from the power plant will be added to the national grid from tomorrow night, he said. Sri Lanka police says that around 1,500 suspects have been arrested so far in connection with the violence that took place in the country on the 9th of May. Police spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa said that 677 of them have been remanded after being produced before courts. He said police teams are working to arrest more suspects who were part of the clashes 2 weeks ago, which saw at least 9 people, including a ruling party parliamentarian and a police officer, killed and many others injured. The incidents of violence were triggered by attacks on peaceful protesters near temple trees and golf face in Colombo by ruling party supporters on the 9th of May. The UN has come forward to support Sri Lanka to overcome the economic challenges. The UN agencies will extend support to provide financial assistance, essential goods and other relevant materials to Sri Lanka and affected population group. The essential supplies will be provided very soon, reliable sources said. The Indian government, especially with the contribution from Tamil Nadu state government, has sent a load of essential goods including rice, food and medicine worth 2 billion rupees to Sri Lanka yesterday. 2 merchant ships carrying these goods arrived in the island yesterday. The unloading of the goods have already begun. The Commissioner General of Examinations says that steps will be taken to issue diesel from depots belonging to the Sri Lanka Transport Board for the personal vehicles of examination staff on duty for the GCE Ordinary Level Examination this year. Speaking to media, the Commissioner General of Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, stated that diesel can be obtained from the SLTB depots for those staff members at any time. He stated that the chairman of the Sri Lanka Transport Board, Kingsley Ranawaka, has been informed in this regard. The Commissioner General of Examinations has requested all fuel stations island-wide to give priority to GCE ordinary level examination staff queuing up for fuel and to provide them the opportunity to obtain the required petrol. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi 60 from Sri Lanka Insurance.
Continuing with more stories here at home. The World Bank, the Asian Development Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank have jointly decided to support Sri Lanka's response to the ongoing economic crisis. The three institutions announced that decision in a statement issued after the first joint coordinated meeting held on the 19th of May. All three institutions are adopting a coordinated approach to sustain basic services and livelihoods and to mitigate the impact of the economic crisis on the people of Sri Lanka. This includes access to essential items such as medicines, cash assistance, gas and fertilizer through the reallocation of resources from existing projects. The GCE Ordinary Level exam for the year 2021 commences today and will be conducted till the 1st of June 2022. All arrangements are made to conduct the exam peacefully. A total of 517,496 candidates are eligible to sit for the 2021 GCE Ordinary Level examination. The examination chief, LMD Dharmasena, said all necessary arrangements, including transport and examination papers, are in place to conduct the exam. Meanwhile, Minister of Education, Susil Premachandra, requests the officials and public to extend their fullest support to conduct this GCE O-level exam in a successful manner. The minister requested the teachers, principals and parents to support to conduct the exam without any hindrance. The students should be given necessary facilities and time to write the answers at the exam. The exam is being conducted in more than 2,500 centres located island-wide. Meanwhile, the Commissioner General of Examinations says that steps will be taken to issue diesel from depots belonging to the Sri Lanka Transport Board for the personal vehicles of examination staff on duty for the GCE Ordinary Level examination this year. Speaking to the media, the Commissioner General of Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, stated that diesel can be obtained from the SLTB depots for those staff members at any time. That's local news for the moment.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi 60 from Sri Lanka Insurance. A health insurance plan to honor our most valued elders by the protectors of the nation. We now give our treasured senior citizens access to the very best medical insurance, specially tailored for anyone over 60. What's more, you don't need medical screening to access this policy. And Medi 60 covers a wide range of illnesses. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 0112 357 357.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ceylon Petroleum Private Tanker Owners Association today requested the Inspector General of Police to provide security when transporting fuel. Citing the several obstructions made by certain groups in the past few days, Joint Secretary of the Association, T.V. Shanta Silva, told the IGP that they could not report for duty if they are not provided with security during fuel transportation. In turn, the government has responded positively to provide security to the private fuel bowsers during transportation.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
Health sector points out that unnecessary gathering should be minimized during these days. Director of the Colombo Lady Ridgeway Hospital, Dr. S. Vijay Surya, said that if the people follow the health guideline further, a risk of recreation of another corona wave can be prevented. He requests the public to adhere to health guidelines strictly during these days. The government plans to administer the fourth dose. In the first phase, the government plans to implement the fourth dose vaccination to the 60 and above age group. That's Watch Light.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines: Monkeypox, Israel and Switzerland confirm cases. Floods in Bangladesh and India affect millions. 5 killed as small plane crashes in southeastern France. Afghanistan's female TV presenters cover their faces. World News in detail. Israel and Switzerland are the latest countries to confirm cases of monkeypox, bringing the total number of nations reporting outbreaks to 14. Both countries said they identified one infected person who had recently traveled, but Israel said it was investigating other suspected cases. More than 80 cases have been confirmed in the recent outbreak in Europe, the US, Canada, and Australia. Monkeypox is most common in remote parts of Central and West Africa. Days of flooding and landslides in parts of Bangladesh and eastern India have affected millions of people and left more than 50 people dead. Bangladesh's northeast region has seen some of the worst flooding for nearly 2 decades. The two countries are prone to flooding, and experts say that climate change is increasing the likelihood of events like this around the world. A tourist plane crashed near the town of Les Andrets in southeast France. Officials said 5 dead bodies, including a child, were discovered at the site of crash in the town of Le André on Saturday afternoon, French news channel BFM TV reported. Local media reported that 4 people were of the same family, Xinhua news agency reported. According to BFM TV, eyewitnesses to the crash tipped off local authorities, and nearly 60 fighters were deployed to the site to douse the fire. Women presenters and reporters on TV channels in Afghanistan went on air with their faces covered on Sunday in line with the Taliban order. The day before, some of them had defied the edict and kept their faces visible. One presenter said women working in TV had resisted, but their employers had come under pressure. After seizing power last year, the Taliban have increasingly imposed restrictions on women's lives in recent weeks. The plane, which belonged to an Aero Club, was conducting its first flight. It took off from Versud Aerodrome in the city of Grenoble, BFM TV reported. That's on World News. And moving on to development news, Pathfinder Capital Private Limited, an associate company of the MMBL Pathfinder Group, having examined the vast array of drones in the market, chose Israel-based Aerobatics Limited, which has developed an ideal solution for commercial drone applications. The management of Pathfinder Capital Private Limited will seek to go through the application process with the CAASL and work closely with local companies interested in utilizing the state-of-the-art drone system offered by Aerobotics Limited.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
And in tennis stories, 6-seed Ons Jabeur suffered a surprise first-round defeat by Magdalene Linnet on the opening day of the French Open. The Tunisian arrived at Roland Garros in strong clay court but fell 3-6-7-6, 7-4-7-5 to the 52nd ranked Paul. Jabeur was among the favourites for the title, having reached 3 clay court finals in the build-up to Paris. And in rugby stories, England and Argentina have been criticised over a long delay before scoring a try that helped both sides progress for their World Rugby Sevens men's group in Toulouse. England's Will Homer ran down the clock by more than 2 minutes before their challenge and grounding the ball. Argentina won the game 19-7 with the result meaning both sides progressed at Canada's expense on points difference. That's on sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Nations Trust Bank plc reiterated its strong financial position with steady growth in the first quarter of the financial year ending 31st March 2022 amidst challenging local and global macroeconomic conditions, the bank announced last Friday. The bank posted a 4% year-on-year increase in profit before tax for the period under review.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka is to bring down the foreign currency note holdings of the public to $10,000 from $15,000 and will crack down on anyone holding foreign currency notes for over 3 months. Accordingly, holders of currency notes will be given a grace period of 2 weeks, and within that period, they are expected to deposit the money in the banking system. That's on economic news.
The weather report.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in western Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in Nuwara Kandy, Galle and Matra districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Strong winds about 40 km per hour can be expected at times over the western slope of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in Hambantota and Trincomalee districts. This weather report was published this morning at 5:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 32 Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 27 Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 28, which shows fair conditions in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. That's the weather update. Back to the headlines before we wind up this bulletin of news. The UN extends support to overcome the economic challenges in Sri Lanka. India sends relief goods worth 2 billion rupees. The GCE ordinary level exam commences today. 1,500 suspects arrested over May 9th violence in Sri Lanka. World Bank, ADB and AIIB announced joint plan to aid Sri Lanka. PUCSL chairman on power cuts during O-level exam period. SLTB to issue diesel for personnel vehicles of O-level exam staff. Police to begin crackdown on people hoarding fuel for resale. News overseas, monkeypox, Israel and Switzerland confirm cases. In sports, it was tennis news. French Open, Honors Biobio beaten in first round by Magda Linnet.